Hello, everybody. Movie Watcher 123 here, and today for this live stream, we are going to be talking about the best and worst moments of one of my favorite iconic Cartoon Network shows of all time, Ed, Edd, and Eddy. Now, before we begin, I'd like to thank all of you for watching my videos and giving them likes and comments and subscribing to my channel. So as soon as my friends come in, we will begin. Fun fact about Ed, Edd, and Eddy is that the creator is Danny Antonucci. So any episodes you want to talk about, drop them in the chat. So any episodes you want to talk about, feel free to choose one, and I'll talk about it with you guys. So like I said, if you have any episodes you want to talk about with me, don't be afraid to drop them in the chat below. Here, let me take a moment to put in the live stream link. Here's the link. So if you want to join in, go right ahead. Let's see. I'm going to put in the first one. Give me a moment. Let me see. Which one? Oh! Here is the first one. It smells like an Ed. Going on in the and that and Sorry about that, folks. There was an error, but I'm back. So, about the episode, If It Smells Like an Ed. The Eds were trying to figure out who was causing trouble all over the cul-de-sac. Ed found the footprint on the sidewalk and decided to take it. So they decided to track down the perpetrator by any means necessary. Yup. So they tried to take people's foots to examine who left that footprint there. But when they saw Jimmy with the hockey stick, they thought that he did it. But he didn't do it as well. No match. Later in the episode, they found Johnny 2x4 tied up and covered in jujubes. I don't know. What kind of candies are they? But anyway, they were caught. They thought they had done something to Johnny, but they didn't. So later in the episode, I'm just gonna give it to you straight. They got caught by the cankers. They were taken back to the lane, tied to a fence, and being pelted with fruits. But it was later revealed that Jimmy, what in the world? That was a car. Anyway, later it was determined that Jimmy was the perpetrator. He was the one that did it. And then at the end, they were taken away by the cankers, and Jimmy, who ultimately got away with it by implicating the Eds, slipped on a banana peel. Wow, that is just stupid, man. You don't blame the Eds for something they didn't do because they didn't do it. So let me try to provide the link again. So like I said, if you have any episodes you want to talk about, go right ahead and drop them in the chat. Um, let's see, what else can we talk about? Oh, I got another one. Here's another one. For your Ed only. Now, in the beginning of this particular episode, which is one of my favorites, they were testing out a new type of which doesn't become a scientist. Ed blew a huge bubble so much big that it carried Andy off. So he tried to chase them. He for his advantage. To hold him down. But he went off. But then Johnny got off and got to the top. Then later, Kevin so hard with a bat and shot the Ed, but Eddie and Ed landed in Sarah's room. But unfortunately, Eddie's face got caught in something, Sarah's diary, which Double D said that a diary is a journal of one's private and personal thoughts. And everyone knows that you shouldn't read a person's diary under no circumstances, because that can get you in serious trouble. Believe me, it does. Here is the link, so feel free to join in right away. This is one of my favorite episodes. Let me tell you, it is indeed one of my favorites. So, any more episodes you want to talk about, drop them in the chat or in the comments, but please no spam links because I don't put up with those very much. So, then Sarah and Jimmy were trying to clean up the room as quick as they could, but unfortunately, it was too late. They weren't quick enough, so they jumped out the window. And right on time, seeing her whole room trashed, it made her cry. But realizing that her diary has gone missing, she got mad. So Ed and Double D tried to find it, but it turns out that Eddie was hiding it the whole time. That's something you don't see every day. So everyone in the whole cul-de-sac grouped together to find Sarah's diary. Eddie was caught with it, and then they were caught by Kevin, and then Eddie, however, tied him up to a tree as a way of keeping him out of the way so he wouldn't tattletale on anybody. Like I said, you know Eddie, he likes to be sneaky. And one page of Sarah's diary said, quote, "Dear Diary, Double D is so cute. Last night I dreamed that he gave me a horsey. Ha ha ha, a horsey. Me and Sarah sitting in a tree. Kissing. Wow, that's some day. So as soon as the coast was clear, Eddie was trying to hide it in a folding chair, but it wouldn't close, so he just jumped on it to close it. As a result, it's the diary out of the chairs so hard out of this and that they Edward All right, I'm back now. So, yeah, they all got punished. You should never read a person's diary because that can get you in serious trouble. So, that's about it. Let's see what episode to talk about next. Let me check the private chat for a moment. Nope, nothing's in the private chat. Let's see here. Which one to talk about next? Ah, I know. Here's a good one. The Ed Touchables. Now, in this particular episode, items have been going missing lately, and Eddie thought it was a serial toucher on the loose. So the Eds do what it takes to try to track down the person who's been taking their stuff. For example, Double D's magnifying glass, Sarah's doll, Polly Poo Poo. So Eddie, Ed, and Double D decided to track down who did it and, well, bring him to justice. So they set up a decoy. Using Ed as a decoy. Okay. Any other guests coming in? Kevin stopped by, but he drove away on his bike. Then Johnny came, and when he touched Ed, he got caught, thinking that Johnny was the serial toucher. But he was innocent the whole time. Yep. The Ed Touchables is like the Untouchables, the movie, but much more different. So, in order to get Johnny to start talking, Eddie pulled out a water gun and started spraying Plank on it. Seeing that, it made Johnny want to pee so badly. Well, I don't understand any of that, but you know what happens in cartoons. Anything can happen. And Johnny is like, okay, okay, I did it. I took everyone's stuff. Oh, now let me go. I gotta go to the bathroom. And then Eddie is like, you heard him, boys. Case closed. So they decided to celebrate with Jawbreakers, but unfortunately, Johnny wasn't the serial toucher. Sarah found her dolly underneath her bed, and then Double D found his magnifying glass. Ooh, I got 3 viewers. That's nice. I wonder if they'll join in. I've already provided the link. So if you want to talk about any episodes from Ed, Edd, and Eddy, go right ahead. So they put Johnny in a moving tire. When Johnny started rolling by, it caused the Eds to spit their jawbreakers out their mouths. Sheesh. I never thought that they would have jawbreakers that big. I mean, I've never seen them that size before. Typically, jawbreakers are small, but big? No way. I think I did see some jawbreakers that are big, but putting the whole thing in your mouth? Wow. Well, that's the end of the Ed Touchables. So, what do you say we talk about the next episode? You have any episodes of Ed, Edd, and Eddy you want to talk about? Go right ahead. Okay. Let's see. Which one? Which one? Here's another one. Ed in a half shell. Now, in this episode, they were down at the construction area with their gerbil routine. Kevin was there with them. He didn't want to stick around because, fun fact, Kevin is the villain in this episode. He's always mean and cruel to the Eds. They were just having fun with their gerbil routine. Ed, Edd, and Eddy, that was them, when suddenly their fun was interrupted by Sarah and Jimmy. So anyway, Sarah came and asked Ed to take care of Jimmy because she has a ballet lesson. But unfortunately, Eddy didn't want nothing to do with it, so you know how Sarah is. So Sarah actually forced Ed to take care of Jimmy until she got back. But then she gave Jimmy a whistle in case the Eds start giving Jimmy trouble. All he had to do was blow in it. But then Eddy wants to be now Eddy wants Jimmy to be just like him, and so on and so forth. Yep, Eddy. He tried to make Jimmy be like him. Just so you know, Ed, Edd, and Eddy was a great show to watch. They're very funny. Eddy tries to pull various scams in order to gain money from people. Some go right, some go wrong. So, in the end, nearing the end, however, Jimmy was on the ground crying with dirt in his face, thinking that the Ed made him eat dirt all day. No, that's a lie. Then Eddy asks, who are you going to believe? That little armor rat or an honest bunch like us?
But then, out of view of the camera, they all got beat up. Yep, that's that. So anyway, never cross Sarah. She's bossy and she's mean. Yep, that's Sarah for you. Now, before I move on to the next episode of Ed, Ed, and Eddy, I'd like to give a shout out to all my YouTube friends who are watching my channel because the other videos I've posted got lots of views and likes. I mean, the ones with the ambulance responding, the airplanes. Wow. Man, never thought I'd get lots of views for it. Lots of views and likes, huh? Give me a minute. Okay, let's see which episode to talk about next. Do you have any episodes you want to talk about? Go right ahead. I don't tolerate any kind of mean comments or any spam links, so please don't drop them in the comments or in the private chat. Thank you. Now, here's the next one. Nagged to Ed. Now, in this episode, Lee, May, and Marie Kanker, collectively known as the Kanker sisters, lure Ed, Ed, and Eddy into their trailer park home. Once there, the Kankers make the Eds feel right at home by letting them wear their father's robes and serving them lunch while the Eds enjoy a movie. The Eds enjoy this hospitality at first, but slowly the sisters reveal that they have a crush on the three boys. Note: this episode was originally set to premiere on in November 7th, 1998, alongside the Ed Touchables as the series pilot, but was postponed to January 4th, 1999 due to minor post-production delays. Yep, sometimes things don't go right as they planned. So, yes. Lee, May, and Marie have a crush on Ed, Ed, and Eddy. Well, May has a crush on Ed, Marie has a crush on Double D, and Lee has a crush on Eddy. Well, that's something you don't see every day. Yep. It's still one of my favorite Ed, Edd and Eddy episodes, but still, I watch it. So, anybody else going to join in? Be- Because I'm waiting for some guests. Let's see, what other episodes can we talk about? Usually, Christian Parish does these live streams every Sunday, but unfortunately, since he has about 32 subscribers, he won't be able to do it. So I'm just trying to cover for him. I try to, but the signal here is bad, so I try to do what I can. So here is the next episode that we are going to talk about from Ed, Edd, and Eddy. Dawn of the Eds. Now, in this particular episode, Ed wants to see the newest science fiction film, Robot Rebel Ranch, but the Eds will not be able to get in as the movie is rated R. You know, R for restricted. R-rated movies have a lot of bad words in it, a lot of blood, death, killing, guns. You know what I mean. Anyway, they try to devise a plan to sneak in while riding a bicycle to the theater, but take a wrong turn and end up in the junkyard, where their imaginations go crazy. While there, they pretend they're on a distant alien planet. Yup, they took a wrong turn. They should have while watch where they're going. Yep, that's just crazy. So they thought that robot bounty hunters were coming in after them, so they prepared to fight them off using their own weapons of choice. Just so you know, if you want to watch an R-rated movie, you have to be 18 years old. Adults only. Yep. So let's see which episode to talk about next. Here's another one we can talk about. A glass of warm Ed. Now, in this episode, a peaceful night in the cul-de-sac is interrupted when Double D finds out that Ed is sleepwalking and devouring everyone's food while they are asleep. Luckily, the Ed's latest scam soon becomes a success. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that while everybody in the cul-de-sac is asleep, there's an interruption. Ed was sleepwalking while eating everyone's food in the process. Then, in the morning, when everyone found out that their food is gone, they all became very, very hungry. So the Eds decided to use that as a scam. So yeah, a glass of warm Ed, more like a glass of warm milk. Ha, that's a good one. So anybody else has any other episodes to talk about? Any other episodes? Drop them in the chat or in the comments. Give me a moment. Here's another one. Flea Bitten Ed. In this episode, the Eds open up an animal grooming business called Ed's Pet Boutique and clean up all of Rolf's filthy animals. All goes smoothly until Ed's allergic reaction to Rolf's rabbits kicks in. He starts sneezing like crazy, but at the last sneeze, he Ed covers up his nose, and then he starts to grow very big and itch all over. So Eddy and Double D try to figure out a cure for his allergies. It turns out that Ed is allergic to rabbits. He could be allergic to something else. Who knows? Anyway, they try to find a cure for his allergies. But unfortunately, in the process, later nearing the end of the episode, the rabbits turned from 1 to 1,000. There was a bunch of them. Well, they had only 2 rabbits with them. Only 2. So yeah. So there you have it. Do you have any episodes of Ed, Edd, and Eddy you'd like to talk about? Think of one and then drop them in the chat. Let me see here. 6 years time. It was so talk
Hello, guys. I'm back. Signal was starting to go crazy. Um, I'm gonna talk about one more episode, then I'm gonna end the stream, or two more episodes. What do you think? Okay, here's the next episode. Cry Ed. Now, in this episode, they were just having fun watching Eddy ride a bubble ball with handlebars on it. Then suddenly a clothespin came off the clothesline and snipped Jimmy in the foot, hurting him in the process. However, Eddy did not like the fact that his attention was interrupted, so he tried to fake injuries in order to gain attention away from Jimmy. But Sarah, however, wasn't buying it. First it was the clothespin, then the tree fell down on him, on Jimmy, that is. And then, Eddy, he just wouldn't give up. But then Double D thought of a good idea to keep Jimmy safe. With a bubble suit, which it worked, but then he fell into an area on the other side of the fence with a group of dogs which proceeded to tear apart his bubble, which it did, and he started flying away. Jimmy, however. So yeah, don't be trying to fake any injuries because they're not gonna buy it. So, okay, one more episode and I'm gonna end the live stream. Oh, which one to talk about? Oh, I got a good one. Give me a moment to punch it up. Ah, here it is. 1 plus 1 equals Ed. Ha! Now, this is one of my favorite episodes of all time. What happens here is the Eds decide to learn what things are made of by taking them apart. Their imaginations take over, and reality is bent in a surrealistic manner. Things start to go crazy for the Eds. They started taking things apart. Now, if you haven't watched this episode already, you should. It's a good one. It's like one of my favorites. But hey, I like to see it. So anyway, they start taking things apart. Things go crazy. Everything's going crazy. And there's one part in that episode where Rolf has not one head,
but three heads. Johnny's body is different as well. Instead of his own head, it's replaced by Plank, which carries Johnny's head, and Naz's head is on the body of a dinosaur. Man, I wish I was in that episode. Yep. Okay. Which one? I'm going to talk about this very last episode, then I'll end the stream because I don't think that people are going to be showing up. I'm going to talk about this last episode, then I'm going to end the stream. Okay, here's the last episode we are going to talk about. Who let the Ed in? So, in this episode, Ed gets an imaginary friend named Jib. Jib. You thought it was Jim, but no, it's Jib. So, he tries to have fun with his new imaginary friend Jib, but unfortunately, he's been causing trouble for Eddy lately. You can't see him because imaginary friends are invisible. Well, for Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, they're not. How do they create them anyway? So, Ed tries to introduce Jib to his friends in the neighborhood, but it was driving Eddy crazy so much. With the vending machine routine, Eddy was just about to get a quarter from Jimmy, but then Ed and Jib ruined it, and that got Eddy so mad. And so on and so forth. So Johnny suggested that they build an invisible trap, which they did, and it worked. But later, Eddy got himself getting beat up by Jib. Wow, that's something you don't see every day. So anyway, he got beat up so much, and then nearing the end of this episode is that Ed, however, was crying because Jib was going away, and Eddy was throwing his luggage in the luggage compartment on the coach bus. So everyone said goodbye to Jib as he was going away, and they were all sad. Yup, it's hard to see a good friend go away. However, at the end of the episode, Eddy wanted to show Ed something. Look, see what I got, Ed? It's an invisible potato and an invisible slingshot. Where, Eddy? Don't blink. As soon as Eddy lets it go, bam! It struck Ed in the face and stars started flying everywhere. That was a good one. A very good episode indeed. You know, pretty soon I'm gonna have to get all the episodes of Ed, Edd, and Eddy on DVD. Sure, why not? It's one of my favorite shows. I still watch it to this day. Well, this has been a successful live stream. I've talked about some of the episodes that I want to talk about with you guys today, and so far nobody has shown up in my StreamYard studio. So I'm going to go now, and I'm going to think about what other live stream video I should do next time, because I wanted to do it through a community post, but I don't have 500 subscribers yet. But don't worry, I'll get there soon. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this live stream. And if you like it, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below which live stream I should do next. So, thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye.